every actor that was in this film and let this movie be made, I will not support anymore. I will not watch one thing they're in.
Oh,
dang! That includes Sherlock Holmes 3 because of Jude Law.
Yeah. I 100% will not support Jude Law because he was in this film.
Quiet Place Day 1.
Day one. This is all we have of it. But yes, it's going to be like a prequel.
why?
Because people keep watching it.
Yeah.
And
It's not gonna have John Krasinski. It's not gonna have. I don't think it's gonna have any of the.
I don't want a day. I want more of the same storyline. Don't go back. Go forward.
Sean Connery was a dog.
Connery has such a unique charm to him. You want to kiss him right now.
Dude, I can't take it. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast, all you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. Hey, yo.
I like this.
Hey.
What?
This case. Where'd you
Case,
get
yeah.
it?
Bro,
I was
picked for me.
Admiring that.
By the AT&T lady. Kind of looked like the girl from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I've never seen that movie.
With Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
I know
Mr.
Craig's
Craig.
in it.
I've seen that
Craig?
movie twice, and
Who's the girl?
I don't really know her name.
What else is she in?
I don't know. Let's look her up.
Okay. No, I just I like this case. I wish mine was black.
Mine
Mine's clear.
is a fake leather feel, but
Okay.
it doesn't protect your phone apparently because I checked the back of my phone.
Now see, mine's clear, but I carry it to work with me like it stains. It gets stained around the rubber. As I need to get a different one.
I mean, you can
Rooney
tell
Mara.
there's marks in the back of my case.
Rooney Mara. What else has she been?
She was in.
She was in Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, she was in Nightmare Alley. She's that
The
girl right
dragon
there.
tattoo sold.
Okay.
Is she related to Joaquin?
No.
Why would she be related to?
Or is
Joaquin?
she dating Joaquin?
Why? She was in Mary Magdalene.
There's
Mary Magdalene.
There's a whole thing with her and Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix.
he was Jesus in Mary Magdalene.
Why
Yeah.
is he's touching her on the shoulder like that though?
Because he was Jesus in Mary Magdalene.
And she was Mary.
And she was Mary.
And it was a blasphemous film about a love story between the two.
Is that okay? Yeah, I do remember that a couple weeks ago. We talked about that.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, she
Memory like a steel trap.
the girl at look, let me
Never
see
forget anything.
let's see. Oh, let me back out because I want to it's going to do this. So the girl with the dragon tattoo, let me show you an image. Cuz this girl that gave me my phone
She
just
was
like
rocking
her.
this look.
Well, it wasn't that haircut, but
Okay.
it was more like the piercings, the piercings and like the stare.
Yeah.
Kind of like if a I don't know. It was a
This is
Careful on
irrelevant
Google
to
search.
just our conversation right now.
Why is my computer? Let's keep going, guys.
Yeah.
I just thought you brought my phone up, and
Yeah,
so I thought
I wanted to know.
look. So I got a new phone. AT&T switched,
Yeah.
and I got a new phone.
3 weeks now.
I was just
It's a lot
curious.
bigger than I remember.
I really like the black case.
Thank you.
Sleek.
Thank you. Yeah, she
It's
knew what she was
AT&T.
doing.
We have Verizon. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Verizon.
I was Verizon for so much longer than you fools.
Nuh-uh.
Well, I had my own Verizon account. You don't. You still
I was
don't.
Straight Talk, which
That
was
is true.
Verizon. So
That is true.
You Verizon was picked for you. You chose Verizon on your own. I've been on Verizon for so long, and then I switched to AT&T. They're basically the same thing.
They're all
same
the same.
prices, same coverage.
They're all
It's
owned by
the
the same conglomerate company.
Well, not really. That's the whole
yeah.
point of them. That they're not.
Why would they not be when you can force people to compete against different cell services?
All
and
run
things?
by big cell phones.
It really is. Compete. You're just competing with yourself so you can make more money.
Maybe. I don't know. I've heard that Cox is coming out with their own mobile stuff, and if you don't know what Cox is, it's also a provider, and
it's also
Verizon and AT&T
We're not
are
getting
slacking.
into that.
They are not trying to push the envelope as far as like coverage, as far as like new tech, as far as like making sure your area is secure.
Well, I mean,
So Cox is coming up and claiming everything.
We were even, when we were looking for houses, a house that's not too far out in the country, not even in the country necessarily.
Right.
doesn't have anything.
You know what I was thinking?
Which they could.
Which
AT&T
they
and Verizon should.
They didn't even have Starlink.
Yeah. It's
Nothing.
pretty nuts.
You know what I was thinking when I was at work yesterday, thinking about that house? I was like, why don't we just get Haley's fiance?
Oh.
I was like,
Thinking about that too.
I was like, why don't we just get?
If he just gave us like a prototype,
we just use the
set
prototype.
it up and test it for them.
So how do we should we talk about this technology?
No, it's
in
not
the open
ours.
public?
It's not ours, and it's not released for the public yet.
Let's
so
just say this. I'm
think-
gonna tease this.
I don't think we should.
So we have a connection. We actually helped him move his couch last week. But we have
You're
a
going
connection.
too far
we have a
into
friend.
detail.
We have a friend that for the past couple years, he's been working on new technology, especially in the internet space.
Yeah.
So we
pretty
have
cool.
like a friend who is the insider for the future of the internet.
I wish we owned some shares of that company.
Here's the thing. We have the insider. So when it starts, we can get in early.
Maybe we should.
All we got to do is talk to him.
pay him $10,000 right now and see if they'll.
See, our dad always talks about he had the opportunity to invest in cell phones and he didn't, and he could have been a multimillionaire.
This is actually a legitimate thing. How much you got in your bank account right now? Maybe don't say on the podcast unless you really want to. But no, why don't we just talk to them and say we'll give you this much to get to.
Well, the thing is
because they're in talks with bigger companies to sell it.
So the problem is they already have the investors to get it going, right? The thing is what we have to do is we have to say, well, we want to buy stock early. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's other opportunities that you can invest money, but it's not necessarily with them, with the initial patents, but you can invest in the technology in some fashion, I'm sure right now. You just have to...
We'll have to keep in contact with our friend.
Which we will. And we're going to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Give us a year. We're going to put some money into it.
Well, I think it's going to be big. I think it could be the future.
It is the future, 100%. It already works.
We're being very vague about something that we can't talk about, so let's move on.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll into what you have for us, Joshua.
Okay, so last week, 3 weeks ago at this point, probably 2 weeks ago,
man, people
CinemaCon.
are really interested in the timeline.
Yeah.
Keep going.
CinemaCon had happened.
Right.
And they released a bunch of stuff, and so I went through Disney's thing. I went through Sony. I went through a bunch of the bigger companies, and I collected what they announced, the newer stuff that's coming out.
So movies.
I put a slide up here. Some of it is not I put Transformers to just show Transformers.
That's crunchy right there. That's a crunchy
What are you trying to
image.
say about Transformers?
That image got texture.
So we're going to talk about the new stuff that's coming out.
That's an 8-bit image.
Ew. Why did you?
That's classic Mario.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A bunch of stuff is about to come out. We're going to, in fashion, kind of go through these pretty fast because we have 20 different things.
Okay.
But we're going to briefly talk about them as we're going through them.
So why is Transformers up here?
So they announced that they will be making a animated Transformers movie.
Okay.
Wait, didn't they already have that? That's the old cartoons.
They have a lot of animated Transformers movies.
Kind of. I think this is kind of with all the animated stuff coming out lately.
Yeah, a Mario.
Yes, Mario, Minecraft. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have a bunch of stuff coming out. They announced they are going to be making a Transformers cartoon.
A really good 3D cel-shaded Transformers cartoon.
It's because they can't stop. Would be cool. They can't stop making money from Transformers.
I'm tired of the live action, but you give me a cartoon of Transformers movie.
Pop that in.
Yeah.
It feels like they, with things like Love, Death, and Robots, like Vision, Star Wars Visions, they have been playing with the animation world a lot.
Yeah, Disney just released a new film that's coming out called Wish. And that's it's like they did 3D animation, then they did cell shading to make it almost have a 2D feel. It's an interesting. They are innovating in the space of what kind of animation style you're going with, because there's a big broad range now, Yeah. And they're inventing.
Well,
new
it's
ones.
almost like you can be you can have this 3D kind of fill a lot of the, do a lot of the legwork, and then have the artists really get creative.
Texturize it.
With texturing and
like
have it
the
be
Teenage
extremely
Mutant
unique.
one. And
Scroll to the next one, because this kind of
Spider-Verse.
is with it. I threw this up here. They're going to do another SpongeBob movie.
Okay.
Did you watch the first one?
I don't know if it's going to officially
first
be
one.
in a sequel to this one, but it is going to be by the same creators.
I heard it was more about Sandy Cheeks.
It kind of
might
was.
be.
It kind of was.
Oh, this movie?
No, the first one was
No,
about.
I heard that the next
new
one
one
will
is
be
gonna be-
about
it-
Sandy
it
Cheeks.
might-
Well,
be.
the first one was about Sandy Cheeks.
Was it really?
Well, I mean,
I think she
it's
went
good to have
missing.
cheeks.
Right?
Okay. Either way, cheeks. Some cheeks are gonna be in this movie.
Some cheeks
yeah.
are going to be sanded. So
That's really all I have. For
Okay,
this one.
so
there's
there's
quite a
just
few
two
things
animations.
that I just wanted to.
I will watch
mention
this.
that they're making.
I will watch this because I'm trying to get my daughter on SpongeBob.
I'm not a
yeah?
SpongeBob person.
I love SpongeBob.
What are you
growing
gonna
up.
do? Just like prop her up on a pillow so
Right.
she can and
Just
then
let her look.
Put it on so she'll watch it.
Yeah,
It's not smart viewing.
you don't have to be.
No.
The thing is,
Get her
Yeah,
on
but
something.
she's got
Look,
Kenzie for the smart
people
stuff.
are either smart or they're dumb, and it doesn't matter what you watch.
The people who watch SpongeBob are dumb.
So
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yes.
happy. I'm happy, and I can get through life easily. All right,
Sure.
and I love SpongeBob. All right, so Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is this
Who's up for
Netflix?
this?
So this is
Wild.
makes me nervous. They are going to be doing a cartoon movie based off the show.
Oh, I think I saw this.
That's going to be
When you say cartoon, what are you talking about?
well, as opposed
Animated.
to the live action that Netflix is doing. It's going to be
they already have the cartoon version. It's
they have
there.
the show.
So he's talking about new stuff that's coming
I
out.
know. That's why
Yes.
I'm reacting to the fact that they keep doubling down on
Yes,
crap
they
that's
are.
already there.
So it's going to be the show. It's going to be a continuation of the show. It's going to be a movie, probably let's say 10 years
Yeah,
after
they're
the
gonna be
show.
they're gonna be adults.
okay.
And it's gonna be a movie
Yes.
about them being adults.
It's just going to be like a movie that's a continuation of the show, really.
Okay. So they have the original 2D animation, the anime style. Then they're going to do the live action. Well, they did the live action movie, which no one liked. Now they're doing the live action Netflix series.
Yes.
And then they're doing a
But
animation style
that'll
movie,
even though it's the same story, it's all kind of an
anime style.
different story. This is going to be with this story. It's just going to be 10 years later.
Okay, but is it going to be anime style? Do you know?
Yeah, it's going to be
gonna be
just
the style
it's
of the
going to be this
movie.
show
Of the
in
show.
a movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni there.
I don't know.
I don't know who's working on it, to be honest.
He's
I
not
don't-
working on Netflix, so they better get him, I think. All right. Smurfs.
Another Smurfs. This one's not great, you know. I
Will
just
this be
wanted to throw
Smurfs
it up
3?
here.
Kids love the
I guess.
I
guess.
had a buddy of mine call me, and he was like, for some reason, somebody at my house wanted to rent Smurfs 3 or whatever it was, or Smurfs 2. He's like, so we put it on.
Who is this?
This was a couple years ago, but he's like, it was actually really entertaining. It was like Smurfs 3 or something.
He's just looking at
ridiculous.
Smurf
He was
and
like,
being like, okay.
he was like, it was actually really entertaining.
Yeah, Blondie's fun because all the dudes are trying to go for Blondie. She's the only
Smurfette.
Smurfette. She's the only
You're Smurfs, right?
I don't know about Smurfs. Who's the villain in the Smurf movies?
Gargamel. Gargamel.
But who
or
plays
something.
him?
I'm not sure. I know
It's somebody we know.
Yeah, it is. But he's like wearing like a bald
He's wearing
cap and like a
stuff.
face thing
Yeah.
Let's
and a
see.
weird nose.
What's his face was in the first movie. Doogie Howser was in the first film.
Why is the cast for Smurfs not coming
Neil
up?
Patrick Harris.
Right there, there's cast. Click on the
Pretty
cast
wild.
button.
Where?
Oh. Cast and crew. It has the names
right
of
here.
them.
Wonder why it's
No,
not
that's
showing.
it. It's not showing pictures, but that's the name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dang, that's a bummer. Why is
that's-
Google failing us?
Right there. Go up. Scroll. Oh, here we go. There he is. There's Garrett Gargamel.
Oh yes.
Azaria.
What does he play? What else does he play? I know he plays a lot of stuff. What else is he in?
He plays the Pharaoh from.
Yeah.
He's
Don't
like
cross this
line.
I was picturing him with a lisp, and I'm like, what does he play with a lisp?
Yeah, he has a lisp. All right, so we got a new Smurfs movie coming out. We got Killers of the Flower Moon.
So this is one of the more interesting films that I'm
little
looking
bit
forward to.
little bit of DiCaprio action.
DiCaprio, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be. Why am I blanking on who's directing? It's a well-known director. It's like one of those, you know.
Scorsese?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Right on the
Scorsese?
money.
I think so.
Interesting.
I think so.
Martin.
What is it going to be about? I don't really know, except for it's going to be like a Western.
So did CinemaCon release trailers for all these?
They release no. Some of these, like, this is not the actual poster. This is just like a screenshot from it, and I wanted to throw it up there because they had that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one is at least, it's like, good resolution.
This picture.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this: when I look at this, I think not interesting. Then I see it's DiCaprio, and I'm like, I'll watch it.
I don't know. I like it. The lighting looks really good.
No, the lighting's
it'll be
fine.
good.
I'm
It'll
just
be
saying,
good.
like a lot of these movies can tend to be very dull. But then if you get Leonardo DiCaprio, it's probably got to be stimulating in some fashion.
And it also has, it's also going to have
Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro, yes.
Dude, I am on the money with these guessings.
You
today.
already knew. You looked this up.
No, I
didn't you?
didn't.
Robert De Niro.
I said Scorsese.
Yeah.
I
It's
said
going to be Robert De Niro
If you guess
and...
Scorsese, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, next movie. Let's see. One Love.
One Love.
This was...
With Idris Elba.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. You were like, there's going to be a biopic coming out. I just don't remember what it was going to be about. They're making a, Elvis, but about Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
And you got one of Bob's kids, Keeman Marley? Kyman Marley?
guess so.
Mm-hmm. And
Frick.
Idris, yeah.
Do you know he's probably playing his dad. I assume that's his kid, not his grandchild. But I saw Stephen Marley
Okay.
in person here in Virginia Beach.
yeah.
And I'll say all the Marleys look the same. Here, let me show you. Let me pull up a picture of the Marley family.
No,
you
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You do your
ahead.
thing.
Let's see.
Wait, Marley family tree. How many people?
Marley family tree.
There's a lot.
How many people you'd be like? Somehow I'm related to Marley by like third cousins.
Right.
And they just trying to follow.
I know a guy
themselves.
who knows a guy who's related to them.
It's funny how it popped up for Joseph. So maybe he's been looking that up.
He's been
What?
looking up.
Okay, so that is Ziggy Marley. I can tell right from his face. And this might be the brothers. Yeah, this is the brothers. So
They all look the same. They're all like messy dreadlocks. They don't do anything with their facial hair. They just let it grow.
they're Rastafarians. That's a part of it.
Oh,
I got a freaking... This mouse pad's not working. And I'm really frustrated.
And
so
that,
we got...
that sucks for a guy who zooms in and out a lot.
So we got Damien,
Yeah.
Steven, I think that's Ziggy, and I don't know their names.
wasn't Ziggy in?
Damon's he's like more of a rapper.
The smile.
He's
though,
more
you
like
can
his
see.
father.
Who
Steven's
played
more
in
like his
Shark
father.
Tale as the
Probably
hey,
Steven.
as the jellyfish?
Rastafarian jellyfish.
Yeah.
Probably Steven.
It was one of them.
And also, it's either Steven or Ziggy. But Damon's he's just like a straight up Rastafarian rapper, and then Steven is more like his father. But that's not Steven, so I don't know who they're getting for this movie. But
He was on the right in that picture.
Oh, you see him on that?
Yeah.
Up there?
Mhm.
Okay, so he is one of the sons of Bob.
The smile, you can see they all have
Marley. It says right there.
Kinda
It says his
they all have
name.
Bob's-
Yeah.
Joseph. Right there.
yeah,
but in that picture he
I
didn't know.
didn't know if he's
that
if
one
he's
was on the right.
if he's a son or a grandson of Bob Marley.
oh.
You know what I mean? So, because Bob Marley's got a lot of young kids and adult children, grandkids. So I didn't know, but they all have the Marley smile, the real teethy.
Yeah.
I'm real excited about this movie. I want to watch it 100%. Quiet Place Day 1.
Day one. This is all we have of it. But yes, it's going to be like a prequel.
Why?
Because people keep watching it.
Yeah.
And
I
we
don't
get
wanna-
we
It's
get
not gonna have John Krasinski. It's not gonna have. I don't think it's gonna have any of the.
I don't want
cast.
a day. I want more of the same storyline. Don't go back. Go forward.
Hold on. You might be. I know you have a reaction to this, but this might be incredible.
Krasinski's not working on it.
He's working
I don't
on
know
it.
if he's working on it or not.
He's not. I don't think.
Are you sure?
No. I think he might be. Yeah, let's look this up because this is actually kind of important. Is Krasinski involved with?
Who is directing A Quiet Place?
3 right there. Nope, he ain't doing it.
What? Well, how is John involved? He has to be involved. This is his story.
He said he was doing the first one. They got him to do the second one, but he's not going to do any more than that. That was his story, the first and second. That was the story he wanted to tell.
Okay, well, you're right. It might not be good if he's not involved. No offense. Who owns this? Warner Brothers?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you go backwards when you could go further into this alien apocalypse?
Probably because Emily Blunt's like, we're not going to work with not my husband. You know what I mean?
Even if you were doing a different story, why would you go back? Stop going back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I don't know.
Just tell other stories in this apocalypse.
Everybody always has to double down of
We
like
kinda got a
sequels
beginning.
of like
We did.
this. And it's like why?
We got a day one.
Yeah, we got an
Sequels are for
second
hacks.
version of day one, which is like day one, what happens and what happens to this
You
family.
say sequels are for hacks a lot, but there's so many good sequel movies that continue on the story.
Last
like
week, we talked
Quiet
about
Place
Agent Cody
1,
Banks 2, Spy
Quiet
Kids
Place
2.
2.
Quiet Place 2 is really good.
Yeah.
It's decent.
It's got Cillian
It's
Murphy,
incredible.
bro.
It's okay. I'm not arguing for A Quiet Place 2. I'm arguing for sequels. There is decent sequels
There's
out
really
there,
good
and I have
sequels.
said that. Yes.
Yeah, I think a movie that tells its story in one movie is good, but if it has potential to tell more of the story in a second movie
just
and
saw
does it
something
well,
You love
yesterday
Shrek 2.
I love
about
Shrek 2.
they are pushing to do an E.T., a sequel to E.T., but Steven Spielberg, is
You're really lost today, aren't you? You couldn't remember Steven Spielberg's name.
he is doubling down. There's no way I'm making a sequel to E.T.
Well, it's
that would
'cause
be
all
dumb.
Hollywood, all the good ideas in Hollywood are revisit better ideas from the old days.
Yes.
They don't know how to make something original.
Okay, so this is my question. Who is today's Steven Spielberg? Who's doing all the originals, the best top films? Who is it? Jordan Peele's out here, but I don't think he's in Spielberg.
He's in the
He's kind of finding a niche. He's not really going beyond
Yeah.
it. Steven did a variety of movies.
I'd say the only one doing like new stuff right now is Chris Nolan.
but
That's
he's
his
still
stuff.
it's still his niche though. Like he's
But
doing different stories.
It's newer stuff.
Yeah.
He's not going back on an old idea.
But he did 3 Batmans.
Right, but
But
that was
Steven Spielberg also did West Side Story.
yeah.
Okay.
But he also did Tenet. He did
Inception,
I would
Inception, Interstellar. These are
Prestige.
new original ideas that he did.
I love most of his work. I just still think Prestige is undervalued.
Oh yeah,
Prestige is
Prestige
one of
is
the
good.
most undervalued.
good.
I would say Prestige is top 3 best Christopher Nolan movies. I think you got
Not top
I
3.
think you
We
got
should rank them more someday.
personally. I think you got Inception, Dark Knight, Interstellar, Prestige. It's
No.
number 4.
Dark Knight's
Interstellar.
not up there.
Interstellar, Inception.
No, Inception's better than Interstellar.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. Maybe it's a better movie for like
It's a better concept.
Wait, whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
whoa.
no. It's not a better
What
concept.
are we arguing?
What's the better
Chris
Chris
Nolan
Nolan
movie.
movie?
I know. What you said, Interstellar over what?
I said Inception, Dark Knight,
Dark Knight's
Interstellar,
not better than Interstellar.
Prestige. That's
No,
what
no,
I
no.
said.
Dark Knight is like 8th on the list. Dark Knight.
No.
Without I've said this. Without Heath Ledger's Joker,
The problem is,
it would be not a great movie.
okay, but the problem is, he is there. It
yes,
does
but
have
that's
Heath
not going
Ledger.
to put it above.
Here, look at this.
Interstellar.
Here, look at this.
do.
Inception as a movie, right? For general audiences, yeah, maybe better than Interstellar. And The Dark Knight as a movie for general audiences. As
Okay.
a film, Interstellar blows
Yes,
both
I-
of those
I-
away.
I'm not saying general.
Look,
audience.
I agree with you as a film.
As a film.
But I
yeah.
always am trying to think in podcast format, which is what is the public?
If you think in if
What's
you
our
think
audience?
in films of a filmmaker, Christopher Nolan,
yeah,
Interstellar, Inception,
look,
I don't know, maybe this Prestige, then Dark Knight.
This Prestige.
well, I will say the story of Prestige is better than The Dark Knight, But as a film, as general audiences, yes, I'm thinking in those terms. Those are loved and those are most appreciated.
No, like general audiences are movies. Those are movies for plebeians. We're talking films from filmmakers.
All right, then we put Interstellar,
Inception. Actually, it could be blown out of the water by Oppenheimer.
We don't know.
It could be. We don't know
yet.
I'm looking forward to
Are
it.
we
Dude,
getting
I
IMAX tickets?
I was seeing some. Oh, absolutely.
You better buy us IMAX tickets.
Wait, why am I in charge of the tickets?
Because you're always in charge of the tickets.
I think I have to buy them because he did it, then you did it.
Wait.
My turn.
Well, no, the thing is,
It's coming out
work
July.
right
We're not
next
gonna
to
be
where we can go to theater.
Oh.
It's
So
coming
I
out
drive there so we don't
coming
have
out
to pay.
July.
It's coming out July. We're not even going to be here.
We're not.
True.
We're not.
All right, we're all going.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna drive up from Florida just to watch.
No. I'm gonna go to a theater in my area.
Yeah.
And opening weekend by myself probably.
Okay.
Which means you guys have to go opening weekend as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
IMAX tickets.
I saw just a screenshot of Cillian Murphy in the hat, like this, in front of an explosion.
Really freaking good.
Looked awesome.
Quiet Place is gonna be good.
Yeah, but day one, it
I don't
might be
think it's
bad.
gonna be good. No.
Okay, so Kung Fu Panda 4.
So, Jack Black went on stage and talked about this movie. So Jack Black is involved.
Okay.
I will give it some lenience because of that.
Maybe we'll get another Peaches.
Probably not though. That's never been Poe's thing.
But we saw like how movie one really good,
yes,
and serious and emotional.
And
movie two
not so
as
much.
well.
It's good, but it
serious
wasn't
and
as
emotional. Good. Movie 3 was all kids stuff.
Yeah.
Right? No real emotional.
That's the executives getting involved.
Movie 4,
more kid stuff.
This is going to be more focusing on Poe being the master and not the trainee anymore. So Poe is picking somebody to almost replace him as the Dragon Warrior.
Be a female.
Probably.
It is. We can't have all these black and white males.
We can't have these strong, big boned male pandas.
Cisgendered.
I'm cisgendered. I did see something saying that the villain in this movie will have some ability to bring back past villains.
Ugh.
So the new Dragon Warrior will get to defeat
Wait,
all
didn't
the
they do that
all
in
the
the third
foes
one?
that Poe defeated again.
Yeah, but at the same time.
No, they didn't. But they'll get to defeat all of the ones that Poe did.
Who's the first guy?
But better.
Who's the first
Tai
one?
Lung.
Tai Lung.
The greatest
villain.
One of the greatest. If you put Tai Lung,
that
Rattlesnake Jake.
Yeah.
Wait, Rattlesnake Jake's not in this universe?
The wolf from...
Rattlesnake Jake is
Puss
in
in Boots?
Rango.
Oh my gosh, from Puss in Boots. In a room.
That's the real
I'm
Dark
talking
Avengers.
about cartoon villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best villains of all time.
Best cartoon villains.
Heath Ledger's Joker.
I will say,
cartoon villains.
Yeah.
DreamWorks and Illumination are doing some good stuff with animation these days.
I would hope that this is a good movie, but my senses are tingling.
Of course, every sense should always be tingling.
Because the last
right
three
now.
movies haven't
don't
been,
be tingling.
The last
Don't be
three
tingling.
movies haven't been political at all.
Yeah.
So my senses are telling me this is the one.
Yeah.
Remember they did it with Toy Story 4 as well.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not a movie. That's not a movie that's
That
part of
doesn't
1,
exist
2,
in
and
the
3.
canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm
'Cause you
saying
decided.
it, so that's true.
Yeah, but and we all agree with
Something
you.
Else?
So
Migration.
I could barely read that.
Yeah, that's all I could
Yeah. Okay, so Migration, that's Illumination.
About ducks.
I don't even know who it's by. I can't read that. I can't even read that. Only in theaters this Christmas. I can't even read that.
Well, you did.
Yeah,
It was more about the ducks. I just didn't want to throw the ducks up
Like,
there, so I
it's
threw
like
this
stepping
up
on
with
a
it.
bag of Doritos. that's crunchy. That's a crunchy image right there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all I have about this. It's just I was gonna throw it up there.
Okay, Megan 2.0.
Yep.
That is an older version of Megan.
Probably.
They're
That's
probably
cosplay.
Yeah. That's
got to be cosplay.
This is
Probably.
not probably the actual
Okay,
Megan thing.
let me say this.
but they
Did you guys watch Megan?
I haven't.
You haven't watched Megan. All right, I'll say this. Megan was fun. It was not a great movie. It was fun, okay? It was interesting, and you enjoyed it for the hour and a half it was on. It's a shorter movie. It does not require a sequel. And I
So-
know you just want the money. It is
Here-
not a
hear
good movie
this.
for a sequel.
They went on stage and announced this movie, but they also announced, they just said Megan is going to be a thing now. There's going to be 6, 7, 8 movies about Megan.
Ugh.
Why?
That's their plan.
It wasn't
So-
a great first movie.
It's the Mr. Krabs meme. Money.
It wasn't a great first movie.
But it did get a lot of attention.
It did.
For the type of film it was, everybody was talking about it. We did how many videos on it?
I agree. Megan is a good movie by itself, but it's not like super impressive. Honestly, we did a lot of videos. It was getting views, a lot of attention. I watched it, I enjoyed it, and forgot about it. You know what I mean? It is not a memorable movie because it is not anywhere near the top of my list of good movies. Like, all of the Conjuring movies are better horror movies than Megan.
Yeah.
All right? This is just Megan did it, Annabelle did it better, honestly. This is just AI technology, okay?
Yeah.
So this is not deserving of a second movie. It was great and fine as a first one. This is not.
It's almost like they're trying to reboot the Chucky universe, but with Megan.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
It's so dumb.
Like a female robot thing.
Everybody wants to do Ghost in the Machine.
Look, after you did
doesn't work.
after the first Chucky, everything after that, it's like saying everything after the first Jaws, you know, or everything after the first Sharknado.
The second Jaws was okay.
I think Sharknado was everything after.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
True.
that's in that. It falls under that purview.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Everything past the first great of something is just hilarity and a joke, you know? And it doesn't need to be made unless you're trying to spoof it up.
Spoof.
The Exorcist. We just had one of these, didn't we?
We did, and there's going to be another one.
The Pope's
The Exorcist Part 2?
This is no, it's not. It's not going to be the Pope's Exorcist. I don't remember what it's going to be called, but it's the Exorcist.
We just got a remake of The Exorcist.
Yeah, I know. It's not going to be the Pope's Exorcist. It's going to be another one.
No, The
Another one.
Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
We
like
just
the original.
like 3 years ago they made a remake of The Exorcist.
So they're gonna make a sequel
Yes.
to the original
Yes.
movie.
I guess so.
Or they're just doing another remake for the third time.
Yeah. No, it's
Good
going to be a
grief.
sequel to It's to an Exorcist. It's not going to be
Why?
a remake of just this movie.
Whatever. So that someone didn't get the memo. All right.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I
right.
just threw this up there. Saw
None of
X,
us watches
Saw
Saw.
10.
This
The
is
10th
like
movie.
This is like
So-
Fast and the Furious, but for the
Yeah.
horror heads.
Yeah.
Just,
Saw X.
just
There's so
throw
many
a pig
X
face
movies
up
coming
there.
out this year.
Yeah.
It's like this X.
Everyone's trying to hit that X.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone likes the X. iPhone did it. iPhone X.
iPhone X. They did do it.
And now everyone wants the X.
This
Yep.
would be a good year for the X-Men to come out.
Yeah. So this is a picture that someone took at the con.
Expendables.
Let's see.
4.
What do we got? We got 50
Stallone.
Cent, Megan Fox, Dolph Lundgren, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, Randy Couture.
Ain't that
Jacob-
Stallone?
Oh my gosh!
No.
Yes.
He looks a little young.
Can I read the names for the people who can't see? Jacob Scipio, Levi Tran, Andy Garcia, and Sylvester Stallone. You were right. He's there.
He is. He's right there in the center.
Right there in the
he
middle.
is
Oh,
the
look,
expendable.
there's Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
He is the expendable.
That's-
You know what?
Megan Fox. That's
this ain't
crazy.
even my episode, and you're coming at me with energy. I just heard that.
I like that this movie franchise was made off of a one-liner from
Yeah.
Predator.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And then they've just there's 4 of them now.
Yeah, he's like where Arnold is just like, "What are we to you? Are we expendable?"
And someone's like, heck yes.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
That's crazy. Megan Fox. She doesn't feel like she'd fit in this universe.
I don't think she does.
I think she's
But
just the
at all.
body, bro.
No, because it's all like old dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
No,
all
don't you wanna
old
see-
guys.
I would accept
Don't you want to see a little...
Alien.
Hold up.
Ripley?
Yes.
I would Sigourney Weaver?
I would
No,
accept
no,
her in this
no,
universe.
Yes,
no.
yes.
I would accept her in this universe.
Because this universe is about a team of old.
Yes,
Old
I would
action
100% agree. There's
Listen.
people that would fit in this universe. Megan Fox is not one of them.
Yeah.
Look, it's not about people who fit in this universe.
Yes, it
This
is.
is 100% about people want to see the fun. This is Fast and Furious 101.
It is. Right. Now, it
we
is
gotta
now.
we gotta see the cool
But-
guy with a reputation like
But
Stallone get in the sexual tension with Megan Fox.
But
we got a legend and
you
a
don't
hottie.
understand the point.
Did
of the
you watch
movies.
any of the movies?
Yeah, I watched the first
You
one.
don't. The point of the movies is it was get all of these old
I know.
action stars together.
Yeah, I
and
know.
they
All your-
there's in universe. They're supposed to be guys who are past their prime.
Yeah.
who are expendable, and it's fun to quote those old lines in different contexts and have these, but reference the old movies together. It's fun. Megan Fox doesn't fit in that. What is she gonna quote?
Something from New Girl, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she doesn't fit in the universe.
I
Check this out.
Sigourney Weaver, though?
I would 100% accept. This doesn't just have to be old men. It can.
Old women, get
Yes, we
Sigourney
can have
Weaver
some people,
in
but
here.
they have to have shown us. They have gone through the years of the film and
They
showed
fit
us.
in this
Yes.
universe, yeah.
Check this out. They'll die when they're dead.
See, that's when,
I wish it would have said they'll die when they're ready, but
that's when Hollywood messes it up. They're like, oh, we have to add females to this, but add the right females and we'll accept
Exactly.
it.
Every
it doesn't
time they
have to
add
be a female
females.
thing, then
it's the wrong females.
Yeah, it's like these young ladies that aren't.
Alien.
another alien.
Oh, great.
Did you like the last Alien?
No, it
Okay.
was terrible.
You didn't
And the
like
one
Prey?
before- and Prometheus.
That's Predator.
Yeah.
But maybe the same person who made Predator is doing the new Alien.
They're not.
No, it's gonna.
No, it's going to be Ridley Scott, who has no grip on what people enjoyed about the first two Alien movies. Made Prometheus, which was terrible and nobody liked. Made Alien Covenant, which was terrible and nobody liked.
I actually saw Alien Covenant before I saw any of the others.
Did you enjoy it? Did you
Not
really
really.
like it?
Not
Was
really.
it fun? No, it was terrible.
I didn't even. It wasn't that great.
No, it was bad. And please stop.
Stop.
And
Stop.
and at some point they will when they stop making money.
So this one was the most interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a little snippet of a trailer for A Haunting in Venice,
Yeah.
and it almost looked like a horror
Whore?
film.
Did you say whore?
A horror film.
A horror film.
Whore?
And it had looked nothing like a sequel to Death on the Nile.
Or what was
Say
the
it.
first one?
Oriental Express.
Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express.
It didn't feel like anything they've done before. It felt different. It felt like it wasn't even the same kind of genre, but it's going to be another sequel.
And I
I'm
saw-
Haunting
really
in
looking
Venice.
forward to it.
I
Haunting
saw a
in Venice.
picture of Poirot from this movie. His mustache is way too small. They set up this character of having this just massive, awesome mustache, and then in the second one they built on it that it kind of like covers up a scar, and then in the third one he's got like this tiny little
But in the second one, remember, he accepted that he had the scar.
right, and that's fine.
So he's letting the scar
you
show.
know what?
They
We're
showed.
he's letting it grow back out.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no. They showed him trimming his mustache to show his scar. He accepted it.
Okay.
At the end of the Death on the Nile, you remember?
Okay, all right.
So-
So it's going to be smaller. He's
It's
going
a
to have
part
the
of canon
scar.
for him to be less
Yeah.
sensitive about his scar.
Okay.
So we got Poirot
So
doing
another
Sequel.
Third film.
Another film in the Poirot verse.
a haunting
Agatha
in
Christie
Venice, only in theaters September 15th. I actually
If this has more of
kind
a horror,
looking forward to
if this has more of a horror vibe, I'm interested.
I am
I want to see
interested.
Poirot in that situation.
I like
it,
Poirot.
It felt way different than anything we've seen.
Try this out though. I keep saying this. Make sure you leave clues so people can figure it out. Don't do what people are doing these days, like with
No.
Glass
Even if you
Onion.
can't figure it out.
It's not cool to make a mystery film that is literally formatted in a way to be
They
impossible
did that
to
though.
show.
What I liked, I didn't care for Death on the Nile that much, but what they did, they left all the clues up front by the first third.
Something like that.
You know, you basically had all the clues and could make an educated guess.
Okay, I mean, sort of, yes.
I did.
Yeah, but
called it
at
early
some
on.
point, you are at a certain point, like you don't leave enough clues to make your guessing. It's just random guessing, and if you get it right, then you feel like you were informed. You know?
it was a pretty educated guess. I think that I made.
All right, just make sure you leave clues so people can figure it out. Okay, so we got Anya Taylor-Joy joining the Mad Max franchise.
So, I could be wrong about this, but what it sounded like with my research is she is going to be playing a younger version of this.
Furiosa.
Yes. I have not seen the Mad Max. I have not jumped in that universe, but
Anya Taylor-Joy looked nothing like Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron is
nothing
different.
She is a very recognizable face, and it's not Charlize Theron's face.
Don't do it.
Don't start talking about her face.
Don't be talking about.
Is she not like one of the most recognizable actresses right now?
Yeah, recognizable is a clear word.
And Charlize Theron is also an extremely recognizable actress. And I don't think you can have her playing young Charlize Theron because we all know what she looked like when she was young.
So we're not. Is Tom Hardy coming back? If we're doing a
I didn't hear that he was.
Yeah, he'll be played by Timothy Chalamet.
That's funny.
It's
Tom Hardy.
I did not hear that he was.
I
so
feel like it's
not.
this thing that Hollywood does. It's like popular person. Let's get popular person.
Yeah.
Somebody people like right now to play other popular person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about Tom Holland? He can come in.
He'll play Tom Hardy.
That I would accept
would
that, but I don't think he is.
See, it's what I've been seeing as a trend. No new ideas.
Yeah, no
sequels.
Not at all.
There's one
movies.
that Scorsese with DiCaprio.
Okay, so
that's the only new idea.
One new thing that's not playing off of some other idea that's already popular.
All right, here we go. Let's keep going. Conjuring 4.
Again, here we go.
Last Rites. So I'll watch this because I've watched all the other ones.
This and go to the next slide is something that I put on here kind of for you.
Insidious. I didn't watch any except for the first Insidiouses.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not caught up on Insidious, and the first one's really wild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I want to get into Insidious universe. I chose Conjuring because people said it's like a cinematic Marvel. And then I got wrapped up into it with Annabelle and all that, and then The Nun, and now I can't get out of it.
I didn't watch. I watched the first one, and then I'm like, nope, I'm bouncing.
I'm bouncing.
I don't want to jump into another horror franchise. I avoided Sinister. I've avoided Insidious except for the first movie. I don't. And honestly, a lot of the same actors play in these same movies.
Yeah.
It's like the same actors are on. You're getting out of the Conjuring universe?
I'm been out. I'm not my thing.
All right, well, I have to watch Conjuring 4.
I don't watch any horror movie stuff.
No,
all right.
My thing is like Aliens
so
and Predators.
I put through this up here because there's going to be a sequel to this movie.
Wow. No one liked it.
It's going to have Paul Rudd.
No one watched this.
I didn't see this.
No one did.
I didn't see it.
No one was interested.
I heard from some people saying that it was okay.
I would rather have a sequel to this movie though than the female Ghostbuster.
Mm-hmm.
Look, okay means bad.
Okay.
If people are like, it's okay, or I didn't watch it, it means it's a flop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doubling down on crap that people don't want to see. No one watched the first one. No one's going to watch, especially no one's going to watch the second one. All right?
They might. It's got Paul Rudd in it. People go see it for Paul Rudd.
No one went to watch Ant-Man.
The same amount of people who went to see Ant-Man are going to see this?
All right. One nice weekend, and then the rest of it's a flop.
But the movie won't make money.
No, it won't. All right, we talked about this a while ago.
Yeah, I just threw this up here because they just announced that it's going to be a rated R movie. I don't know if we talked about that.
Sony's first rated
R. For the audio
movie.
listeners, what is this?
Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter.
Yes. I just threw this up here, and that was it.
What actor is this? He's the guy who plays on Godzilla. I don't know his name. I've never learned his name.
Something.
Johnson. But we're getting a rated R Kraven the Hunter.
It's like an Anya Taylor-Joy type name.
People are like, okay, this is going to be good if it's rated R, but
I think it's Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Maybe.
You might be right.
Sure. I think his name is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
People are saying, though, they're like, okay, it's good they're going to make this that way, but
Aaron Taylor Johnson, you got it.
Well, where was this like when Venom was coming out? Why didn't we get like a rated R
Venom? Should have been rated R.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a staple for these kind of movies that you have to have. You either have to have, Eminem do the song.
Venom.
Yeah. Venom. Or the other guy who does the Deadpool. What is that, Notorious B.I.G.?
He's dead.
I know, but who is it that does it? No. Notorious B.I.G.'s been dead. Who does the theme song for Deadpool?
Are you thinking the X Gonna Give It To You song?
Yes. Who is that? It's not Notorious B.I.G. They don't have the same. They don't have the same.
What's his name?
The same style. It's totally different. Deadpool theme song.
Not the
Artist.
theme song.
That's not him. Rap. Do I have to type in rap?
DMX. It's DMX.
You're right. It is DMX.
Yeah, they might have it'll be a DMX song or another Eminem song.
We're gonna get.
Well, maybe they'll go with Machine Gun Kelly.
I know.
That's funny. Maybe.
Well, Spider-Man gets Post Malone.
I don't know. Maybe they'll pick somebody that's not even a traditional, in that universe. Go like KSI that.
Lil Yachty.
Because he did that one rap with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no, we need a Lil Wayne theme because Lil Wayne has a strong underbelly support. He's actually here this weekend, but
in Virginia
Beach for
Not like
Something's
right
in the
there off
Water.
Camera.
He's actually over there.
He's behind the camera.
That camera right there.
What's up? But no, we need to get Lil Wayne rapping in a movie. All right.
I mean, he's probably done it, but
Kraven the Hunter. Let's get Lil Wayne up in there.
Fighting for my life in the battlefield of love.
Yeah. No, let's do it. Let's get also Unibrow.
Yeah. We both thought the same thing.
Aaron's got a strong unibrow he don't maintain.
Oh,
yeah, you gotta
shave
trim
that.
Pluck it.
No, pluck it, bro. Don't let it grow back.
That was
Pluck
all my
it.
picks, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
So I think I didn't put like one or two things in there that I saw because I just was not interested at all, and and we had already talked about it briefly.
So let's see. The only original thing is Scorsese and DiCaprio's film. That wasn't Kraven the Hunter's not really original because it's just kind of like
it's
new
another
character
thing in like Spider-Man.
Yeah, Venom kind of situation, and Morbius, and then what else was original?
Nothing. There was nothing original in here.
Most of the original stuff we have already talked about. Like they talked a lot about Oppenheimer. Again. They talked about stuff, but I'm like, we've already talked about this. I just don't want to.
So
I'm not gonna put it
the
in
majority, the huge majority of stuff that's coming out, I'd say we get probably like 4, 3, 2, 1. Sometimes we get 3 strong.
Blast off.
3 strong originals.
We'll get a Christopher Nolan movie. Mm-hmm. We'll get a Key and Peele. We'll get a Jordan Peele movie
every other year,
which is next year. Yeah, next year, not this year.
There's just like nothing original.
And usually they come out on the same year sometimes. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we go full year with nothing but sequels and prequels. Like
we got, even though it wasn't really, really good, we got a M. Night Shyamalan movie that was original this year.
Boo.
What, Knock at the Cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was better than Old.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was about the same as Old. Old wasn't as terrible as people say. It just didn't have a whole lot.
What if he made a sequel to that called Young?
Nice.
They go the other direction.
Well, I don't know what else to say other than I'm disappointed in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I only respect a few creators. I'm interested in the Scorsese film.
Okay.
That's it. Really.
Let's thank our Patreon.
Thank you, Karina, for being a Patreon supporter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're appreciated, and guess what you get to enjoy? You get to enjoy
Patreon.
Early podcast clips, get to enjoy exclusive videos from the studio channel, and much more. And you too can be a Patreon supporter where you get podcasts a week early. You get just a ton of benefits. Just go to the link in the description.
And you get to be our personal friend.
Right. Just choose the tier that best fits your content needs.
The friendship.
Yeah, friendship.
Hey, really? Friendship tier.
We don't have a friendship tier. What if we do a $2 friendship tier?
You can't keep restructuring the.
I'm not. No, there's no benefits to the friendship tier.
I gotta take a leak.
All right, then let's take a break.
So for our next segment, I just wanted to. We're not going to talk about it because you guys didn't watch it.
So you want us to just be quiet for a
No,
minute?
you guys can put your input, but if you haven't seen it, you don't. You're just only talking about the advertisements and stuff.
Go.
I don't like the look that you gave him, and you both something popped into your brain. I don't like that.
Go.
I had a kind of something I wanted to tell Disney but because of this film.
All right, but do it for the audio listeners too.
Yeah.
Because you said because of this film. Be descriptive.
Because of Peter Pan and Wendy.
Okay.
So I watched it last night because I genuinely wanted to get my opinion on the film. And Disney, this is what I've got to say. This movie is bad. It is Disney stripping away childhood dreams. And I think I'm not even talking about the making Tinkerbell a different, doing it female led, all this stuff. I'm talking about just the story of this film, from the acting to how they presented it to everything. Disney has let down the fans, and they have created it almost felt lifeless in the acting, and the storytelling had no depth of I'm saying this now, and I'm publicly saying this, and I'm genuine about this. Every actor that was in this film and let this movie be made, I will not support anymore. I will not watch one thing they're in.
Oh, dang! That includes Sherlock Holmes 3 because of Jude Law.
Yeah, I 100% will not support Jude Law because he was in this film.
Wow.
Jude Law is a sellout and a cancer to the industry.
I'll say this.
That's some big statements.
I'll say this.
And you're serious right now. You're not joking.
I'm 100% serious.
I think every actor is a sellout. I think that.
Sure.
I think they're all.
There is some. Yes.
I think if you choose to boycott an actor, that's your choice.
Yes.
And I 100% accept that and support it. I don't tend to boycott lots of actors.
Yeah, I don't either.
Just because
I don't either.
I think they're all sellouts. They've all been in movies like this. But
what about the little boy who plays Nibs? He's really young. He don't know.
Some little kids I can give it to.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I saw some of this movie when you were watching it.
Yeah, you watched
I saw a little bit, and it was like they didn't understand the story of Peter Pan. It's like they didn't understand.
They did not. It was they were creating a story. They were like, put this in it, this to progress this, but there was no depth to it. They did not. It was almost like this is genuinely what I thought when I watched it was. They took the story of Lord of the Rings. They took J.R. Tolkien's world, and just 100 years later, after J.R. Tolkien wrote the books, they made a story that was so against and had what he was trying to create in his world that they totally slashed his films. And I'm not talking about what they're doing with Rings of Power, because there's a few things that they are trying to reference and this and that. As much as we don't like that, that was not this film. This was a cancer to the film industry.
I mean, I think Rings of Power is probably more egregious than this because it's Lord of the Rings. It's not Peter Pan.
It's not, but I think Peter Pan, the story, maybe it's just because I resonate with it, and it was something when I was younger. I liked the story.
What was egregious about what I heard in this movie was the music. The music I heard, was blatantly trying to be Hook. It was trying to be Steven Spielberg. I was listening to the little riffs and the little things that they were doing as the climactic, penultimate moments swelled, and the little shift changes. It was very John Williams' Hook, and it was egregious. It very clearly didn't know how to be its own film, and didn't understand what Peter Pan was about.
And Wendy, the character of Wendy, she had to. So I'm going to preface this with Alien, a fantastic movie. Female-led story is fantastic. Alien. So this is not about female-led stories, but the character of Wendy, and even when she jumped off the plank and saved herself or Tink saved her, whatever you want to argue, they felt like they were trying to make it like women empowerment but they ruined the story by doing that.
Well, three things happened in sequence. It was like Tink escapes by herself.
Yes.
Wendy saves herself, and then Tiger Lily saves Peter Pan. All in the span of 10 minutes.
And then you walked away, and Peter was in the crow's nest, I think, and he falls off, and Wendy literally
saves
catches
him.
Peter Pan because he cannot fly. They ruined the story of Peter Pan
Why is Peter Pan cannot fly?
because he lost the fairy dust.
They didn't
he had.
understand that Peter Pan is more of a fairy being, a mythical being,
Yes.
and not a real. He's not a real human kid.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. He never leaves Neverland.
He's a dream of what every boy wants to be.
Yes.
Pretty much.
But he's not a real. He's a fairy. He's a fae being. And so for him to be like, I need help, I need this, I have these feelings, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So David Lowery is the director and creator and writer, and he wears fingernail polish. I was trying to figure out why, but
That's just a trend.
he's gay. But but he did the Green Knight.
Didn't you point this out that it looked like Green Knight?
It does look like Green Knight, especially when they're in the
filmmaking?
forest.
Yeah.
It's very similar lighting wise, very similar style, and so he has a specific style he's going for. I don't know if that fits well in Neverland. Did it feel like an interesting take on Neverland, at least like scenic wise?
It felt like. Did you
Cinematography
guys
wise?
watch? And this was one of his movies, Pete's Dragon, the newer Pete's
I didn't watch
Dragon.
Pete's Dragon.
It felt like that in Neverland.
That's fine. I think that's a fine look for Neverland.
Yeah.
But if you're not respecting the story, then it's not a good movie.
Right. Okay.
There's
So-
two Peter Pan movies.
Yeah.
There's the cartoon and then there's Hook.
Right.
And that's it. That's
And
Peter Pan.
No, I think there is Peter Pan movies that I will accept. I will accept the cartoon animated one. That one was fun too,
That's what
even
you
though
said.
they
That's what
weren't.
I said.
Oh, I think
I
He
you
said
that
there's,
one. I
there's
said
two
there's
Peter Pan movies.
And then,
they've done stuff with Peter Pan that has been good in the past. It just this movie is not just because of Peter Pan, just in movies in general, was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Dang. And so you're boycotting Jude Law
Yep.
for being Captain
I
Hook.
boycotted Russell Crowe for a long time after
Because of Noah?
Yeah.
I couldn't watch anything he was in.
That was a bad movie, but
It was like how could you be a part of this? Anthony Hopkins as well. All the actors in that movie. I was like, how could you like be a part of this thing and think it would be good? This was awful.
Yeah.
Well, you got
horrible
Christian
movie.
Bale, who's one of the greatest actors of all time. He was in Exodus. He played Moses.
Yeah, but I heard that was more like a Marvel movie.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
No?
It was similar. It's like there were beats that felt like the Moses story, but then they had God. They didn't have a burning bush. God was represented as a little kid.
Oh.
I like the take of the parting of the Red Sea. Instead of parting and doing these walls, it like receded, right?
Oh.
And then when it came back in like a tidal wave, right?
Okay.
So it
So,
was an
not
interesting take
cool.
for that. Well, I thought it was actually kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't like the big Marvel, but when it was coming back, it was a big Marvel, right? Not like a Marvel movie. Yeah. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Jeez.
crunchy. Wow.
Good gosh.
I can count these pixels.
Yeah.
Pickles? You can get
Pixels.
Pickles?
Yeah. Not a good Peter Pan movie. Not a good movie.
No.
In fact, it got you in a bad mood.
Yeah.
There's been a couple Peter Pan movies. There was the one I remember that came out in the early 2000s.
So I accept that.
You watched that. That
Yeah,
one
yeah.
was, I think that
It was
one was
okay.
closer to the source material.
It followed the story.
Then there was another one with, was it Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman, yes.
That one was awful. I could not
it was bad, but-
stand that.
It was like they were almost telling a different story in the Peter Pan universe to where, even though it was bad, I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not going to knock on it because they're not really doing.
It just seems like they've gotten progressively worse with each iteration, right? And the one that managed to do a good job, which was Hook, it managed to somehow capture what the book was doing.
Because
kind of this childlike thing that Steven Spielberg was good at.
Yes.
Yeah, and you also Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
No one saw that coming. No one saw
John Williams.
Yeah. No one saw make Robin Williams Peter Pan as an adult, and it turned out it was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a wonderful movie.
Let's get off of bad movies and talk about a good short film
Okay.
done by
Ian Hubert. I've been waiting for this. And I also didn't
you kind of bullied me into putting this as a segment.
Yeah, because I've been waiting for it. Now
Well, we did watch the one that came out last week.
A Single Point in Space. And so now this is another one called A Pete Story. Or a Pete episode.
Very different from his stuff, other stuff.
This a lot more practical environments.
So I want to. We look at the first one.
It had practical, but not. There was still a lot of animation.
They were out in the desert and stuff. That was all practical.
With like spaceships crashed.
Yeah,
he added.
He's still doing a lot of computer generated stuff.
Yeah.
But the first one, Mug Salad, is kind of a slower
Salad mug. Sorry,
salad. Mug.
we got it backwards
You're right.
in our brain.
It's a slower
Salad mug.
Story about this girl. She's trying to make some money, and she wants to meet her boyfriend at the end, who's been off doing something else. She does somebody a favor, and they pay for him to come back. So the second one is this sort of like space, like isolation story,
Right.
with some subtle, with some subtext in there of what this guy is doing out there, what he's looking for, and then it's basically just a linear isolated story.
Right.
This one goes off the rails. I'm trying to figure out what he was doing with this one. As far as, was he bored?
I know what he was doing.
Or was he trying to show that there is a kind of wacky side of this universe?
I think twofold. I think there's a wacky side of him. He wants to do some funny stuff. He has these friends that he thinks are very funny. He wants to put them in their movie,
almost
right?
felt like he's a big Monty Python fan.
He's a fan of Monty Python, definitely.
Monty Python.
Monty Python.
Want to come again?
He's a fan of Monty Python.
Yeah, and that humor shined through in
sort
this.
of a dry, quickly change subjects type of humor.
The scene where they're sitting around, the two guys are sitting at the fire, and that felt like a Monty Python skit.
Yeah, and he's clearly going for almost meta acting of it's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be very bad acting because this is a wacky character in a wacky corner of this world, which I enjoy. I want. There's some portions that I don't enjoy as much, but the stuff I like seeing from him that I think is wacky and fun is at the very end.
Yeah.
When he's showing, he set up this Rust Boy character and the little robot with the pirate hat and the knives, and all of that, which was basically all CG. It was all done on Blender. All of that was the most entertaining.
Honestly,
part of this for me.
I think that was a joke. Yeah. I think that was, we're gonna introduce a character that honestly we know is probably the most interesting characters, duo of this little story. And then we're going to show you kind of like a preview. We're probably just not going to give you the film. We're not going to give you the story, but we're going to show you this interesting side of it, because it's I think they know that when you get to the end, everyone's way more interested in this pirate story than what they just watched me hate. Yeah.
So you think the whole point of this, the bad acting, the weird story that goes nowhere, the just for some reason out in the desert, which is all stuff
King
that
at a
you
mall.
see. Yes, stuff that you see with indie filmmakers who are just starting out is lines that go nowhere, acting that goes nowhere, scenes that go nowhere.
Right.
And they set it up as, in the beginning, he's like, oh, you want to hear about Rust Boy and how he became the greatest pirate of the desert? Oh, no, you want to hear about Pete. and how I got this guitar.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, who's this Pete character? So they show you
old
he's
Petey
this
boy.
guy who, you know, is a person who does things.
He does nothing of consequence.
Has like it has incredible skills, but they're not incredible, like singing and hammer throwing, and is on this adventure that does nothing and goes nowhere. So, as to kind of show the real story was about Rust Boy.
Well, I don't know if it's the real story. I think this is what I think. I don't know Ian. I'd like to get to know you someday, sir. Maybe you could come on the podcast. But what I think is I'm only trying to – I can't think like him because he does a different kind of filmmaking. But in my own brain, who's involved with video production constantly, creatively you have like these moments where you're like, this is a really cool story. This is a really cool story. He's doing cool stories. I think he probably came up with this desert pirate one, probably inspired from Mad Max or something. And he's like, yeah, that's super cool. But what I'm going to do is I just want to do something goofy with a lot of my friends.
I know what this
I mean?
is. He's subverting expectation every time. So the idea, I would imagine, and this is how I would do it if I was coming up with it. It's like the idea is you walk into a bar. There's this interesting character with no face, and he says, "Oh, you want to hear about this story? You want to hear about this story, or you want to hear about this story?" And you end up hearing about the story that makes no sense instead of the story that would be interesting. Right? That's kind of the concept is instead of getting the story that you would enjoy, you get this weird story that's
no one cares about.
That nobody cares about.
Pete, no one cares about
Pete. With this strange main character.
Yeah.
Right? When usually you walk into the bar and he's like, let me tell you this story about long ago. And you get this incredible thing. That's what he's doing with this. He's subverting the expectation. You're getting the wrong story.
You pretty much are.
Pete is the wrong story. Rust Boy's the correct story that you wanted to hear.
Is that what you think this
he's
is?
subverting expectations with this concept.
And how wacky it is and how uninteresting the adventure became.
You can almost look at it, each scene in that perspective.
The dude literally says, I don't need anything. And he pours his water and food out, takes his clothes off, walks through the desert, and eventually passes out.
Because we know this. We know that he can do cool stuff. So if you look at every scene in the context of what is the most uncool thing we can do, they do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's
to me, and I know he's just kind of maybe playing with it or not, but it felt like indie. Now we've sampled a lot of indie stuff over the years, and a lot of it's bad. It's like the indie world, they have something to say, so they're like, let's tell this ethereal story that makes no sense and makes a terrible film. And that's almost what it felt like, but maybe he was like making fun of it.
It was tongue-in-cheek. It was clearly tongue-in-cheek with lines like, you know, Are you a cop? Are you a cop?
Are you a cop?
Right? Just these lines that, for example, there's one scene. It's really.
I got another theory, by the way. So
there's one scene that's really good where the camera pans down and you see him and you see the
you said you really
bird
liked
guy,
that.
right? And they're in this little enclosed room. And that was really cool cinematography right there. And he says, hey, you know, there's nothing up there for you in the upstairs world or whatever. And Pete's like, yeah, well, something or another. And then, you know, bird guy says, I knew you wouldn't get it. But hey, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Right? that kind of dialogue of, it's like, I knew you wouldn't understand. And then you move on to the next thing. That's very amateur dialogue.
Yeah, it's intentionally bad.
Here, you know, it's intentionally bad. It's
because
dead end.
He's done two films, especially the last one that we talked about last week. The dialogue between him and like the person who calls him, everything's extremely well written.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell that there's a story there that's happening, and it's linear. Whereas this one, it's like a filmmaker trying to tell a story, but they don't know how to tell it.
All right, here's another theory. And I'm just going to say this. We put these videos out and on YouTube, and if you see these and you're watching, you have to If we get any theory right or we're close to it, you have to freaking tell us, comment on a video, or ask yourself to be on the podcast. But listen, so my other theory is Pete might be a sci-fi adventure version of Ian in the world of this craft that he's doing. All right? So a theory might be like there's different characters that are interacting with him that feels like nonsense or might have intrigue behind them. Or this ultimate character with, the king of them all. You know what I mean? And even some of the phrasing, even some of the words that he uses, like there's nothing for you up there. I think this might be a abstract concept of Ian going through this process of like learning how Blender works, people being amazed by him, people reaching out, people ignoring him trying to figure out, maybe he's gotten offers from Hollywood and maybe he said, no, I don't want to do that.
Or even the end, it's like,
who knows?
You went on this big adventure and you were gone for so long and we thought you weren't coming back, so we left.
Yeah.
That could, I would agree with that.
There might be an abstract story
abstract
personal
thing
to
for
Ian
his
there.
personal life. But I still think that can be a part of mine. Pete's not the story.
I think there's
that
a
you
lot of
wanna
layers
hear.
to this.
My theory is that Pete's the wrong story. Everybody wanted to hear Rust Boy.
It's also kind of my story. It's also kind of my theory.
Yeah, I think yours ties into mine.
It does.
Well, go watch it.
Yeah, check it
a
out.
Pete-
Decide
a Pete
for yourself.
Yeah.
In the end, it says
Stay for the credits.
Yeah, so the last credit says, tune in for the next episode to see if all this stuff ties in. Maybe it will. I don't know. Probably. Something like that.
Isn't it supposed to? Question mark.
Isn't it supposed to? Probably.
Yeah, that's clever. I like this guy, Ian. I'm liking him more and more the more I see.
I thought it was interesting that he went from the last episode, which was this really heavy kind of sci-fi storytelling, to this, which is this wacky, insane, almost indie storytelling.
And then you get all the credits, like the little video from the pirate stories and the adventures, and I'm just like, dang, 100%. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I don't want to waste time with Pete. Let's see that.
He did an entire animated story in like
in a few seconds,
a minute,
or he just gave us teases for awesome animated pirate desert stories. So it's a Pete episode, and I like it less, but I think I like the cleverness of it more.
Okay.
I think there's something deep to this. I don't think it was just let's be really silly. And you know what? I'm gonna put in something at the end. I think Ian thought through this. He also probably wanted to try. I was thinking about this as well because I was thinking in filmmaker terms and like visual effects. He does a lot of rendering and then putting characters inside that world. I don't know what he's done in the past. I'm sure he's done this before, but this one he did a lot of real environments and put artificial things in the world.
Into the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think he probably wanted to try some new stuff and try that out as well. Like how can I make our world also look like this world that I've crafted in my brain? You know what I mean? So I think he was trying that as well.
I thought it was interesting that he went, oh, look at this sci-fi awesome story, and then look at this wacky story.
Yeah.
That's
probably why he released them close because
that's
he's like,
intriguing.
Look, here's a really good one, and here's one that's just goofballs. You know what I mean?
Goofs and gaffs.
Goofs and gaffs.
Yeah. So what else we got?
Just the one more thing of going through.
Okay.
What's coming out this
you
month.
have a typical segment where you like to remind people what's in theaters.
Now this almost got us to an argument earlier.
Did it?
Yeah.
What argument?
I don't know.
Couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just couldn't find this page.
So
zoom in.
By the time this comes out, you guys already know Guardians is coming out next weekend.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
Well, for us, it's coming out next weekend. It's already out for them.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So Guardians, but let's just kind of.
We don't need to talk about all of these weird ones.
No,
we don't know. We don't know.
This is going to be
couple
past
of
at this point.
Okay, so stop when you call that out as you see ones that you're interested in. So
wow, a lot of nothing.
That's what I'm saying. There is a lot of nothing.
Sean Bean, Knights of the Zodiac. I saw Sean Bean.
Okay.
Might
so
check that
maybe
out,
Knights of the Zodiac when that comes out.
What if that's just like one of the greatest
movies ever?
One of the greatest like fantasy medieval dramas.
Right. Okay. So here's a movie that I'm in. Michael J. Fox.
Oh.
Still.
Yeah, you look like him, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. So Still, we got Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Joshua, you'll check that out. You're a fan.
My younger Michael before he got the shakes.
All right, so May 15th, we got
Jeez.
The Evil of Dracula.
Is that
All right.
animated?
Might be.
That looks awesome
Or-
if it's
yeah.
animated.
And then we got Land of Gold. May 17th. Two
Eric
movies.
Clapton.
Butterfly Vision.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how many movies get made that no one cares about or knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's budgets and creators for all these movies, and we don't even really care.
No.
And then something like
X.
Fast X comes out.
And we're like,
It's gonna
yeah,
make, like,
we've
$1
been
billion
waiting for Fast
yeah.
X.
But then what's Master Gardener with Joel Egerton, Sigourney Weaver?
Oh, heck yeah.
Interesting.
Everyone check out Master Gardener on May 19th.
Yeah, don't go watch Fast X. Or
It's
do.
quieter
It's
in the
up to you.
twilight.
Yeah.
Right, and so let's see. Anything else of note? So May 23rd, Victim/Suspect. Dang. That's both.
Nice.
They're both.
Both.
So this next
It's
May
a
26th,
documentary. It's a documentary.
The Little
gonna be fun.
Mermaid.
The Machine.
And the Machine.
The Machine.
You know what?
Look at Mark
Screw
Hamill.
it.
Look, Mark Hamill's name before Burt Kreischer.
Well, he's more well known.
I know.
The
but
Machine's
still.
about Bert.
But it's
Okay,
about Burt
look.
Kreischer.
Screw Little Mermaid. Nobody go watch Little Mermaid. Everyone go watch The Machine.
I don't think
I don't-
little girls are gonna go watch the Machine.
Well, not little
no,
girls.
It's not go watch. Isn't it on Disney Plus?
There's a
No,
Little
it's
Mermaid.
coming out on.
Oh, is it?
in
theaters.
Are you kidding? They're not going to let
They
us
released
there's-
not.
Peter
there's
Pan
a reason-
on.
But no one cares about Peter Pan.
There's a reason that Frozen and Frozen 2 made so much money. Little girls are going to the theater to see.
Yeah.
No little girls are going to see the Machine.
Yeah.
It's adult men.
I know.
And they're reluctant girlfriends and wives.
But I'm just saying, no, if an adult man who's not taking his daughter to the theater that weekend goes to see Little Mermaid with like a couple friends or whatever, because
Wait,
they're
what?
curious, right?
No, me and the boys aren't getting together to go
No,
watch Little Mermaid.
I'm just saying.
We're getting together to go watch Barbie, but not the Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, everyone watch The Machine. Just get yourself out May 26th. And, or if you have little daughters, I guess Little Mermaid if you want.
There's a Gerard Butler movie, a Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie.
Sorry, there's two big movies that are going to overtake that
Yeah.
weekend.
There's something with Sydney Sweeney. She's, popping right now.
Yeah.
And then we're into June. Do you want to talk about those? Or are you done?
I guess
Just
Boogeyman
Spider-Verse.
and
Let's do this
Spider-Verse.
right here.
Okay.
Spider-Man across the
And the
Spider-Verse.
Boogeyman.
And the Boogeyman. That's going to be a big, fun horror one.
Yeah.
So the horror heads are going to love the Boogeyman.
The
I'm
what?
going to enjoy that.
Horror heads.
Horror heads.
I thought you said whorehead.
Horror heads.
horror heads.
Yeah, horror heads.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is
Yeah,
June
yeah.
2nd. So make sure you go out and watch those movies.
That's
now,
good. We don't
is
need
that
any
Jake? Is that Taylor Lautner?
No.
No.
It's Sam Worthington. No. Sam. It said Sam Worthington.
Simulated.
Simulant.
Simulant. What the heck?
This looks terrible. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so that's a lot of good movies. Do you think The Machine, speaking of The Machine, do you think The Machine is going to live up to your expectations?
Nah.
Do you think it's actually going to be funny? Because
Some of it will. Yeah.
there's a lot of improv, I've heard. A lot of improv.
Some of it will be. Yeah. I mean, the
Well-
stuff they showed in the trailer was actually genuinely funny.
So I think a misunderstanding about improv is that, you just go in and you start making stuff up. But you know what your character wants. You know what they're thinking about. You know what their goal is. And you know the lines.
You know what their main goal is.
Yeah, so you can improv off of that.
Yeah.
You're not just going in willy-nilly and making stuff up.
Bert got hurt a lot. Like most of the stunts.
Yeah.
Most of the stunts are him.
I know
he
he was
promoted the
probably really
film.
trying to do his own stunts.
He 100%.
So that he could say,
he had
I
a
did my
surgery
own
on his arm when
stunts.
he got back because of a stunt. He hurt himself.
And to promote the film, he ran over his foot.
yeah,
a car.
By accident, though.